Hello, my name is Eric. I am a sailor on board a vessel known as the Rebel Heart here in San Diego. Right now I'm on our tender called El Pato, which is a dinghy. It's a little 8-foot walker bay, and it has a little sail kit on it. And I'm making this video for all the people out there that are like, hey, I want to know how to sail and I don't really know how to get started, or I don't know where to start or whatever. Number one, sailing is really easy. My dad used to tell me that you can teach somebody to sail in a weekend and they'll be good in about 20 years. The idea is that the basics of sailing are actually pretty simple. It's only when you start adding in different kinds of boats, different kinds of conditions, more challenging stuff, that it gets a lot more involved. Driving a car in an empty parking lot is pretty straightforward. Racing a Formula One is probably a lot harder. I've never done it before, but you'd imagine so. Anyway, I wanted to talk about dinghy sailing and why I think it's so great. Number one, the dinghy I'm in right now I bought for $500. So it sells new for $800 and then like $1,000 for the sail kit. And then I think they put some more mods on here too. And I think I bought it for $500 used. So number one, you can buy a dinghy really, really cheap. This is small enough that you can strap it on the hood of a car or roof of a car. I don't think the hood would be a good idea. But you can strap it on the roof of a car. You can drag it out of the water. It's got a little wheel in the back. I'll show you some of the stuff about it here. So it's got, there's the bow, right, little itty bitty bow. We're going to go up, 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 up. Bing! It's got one sail. Okay, one sail. There's my tiller. Right, I got my hand on my tiller here. Tiller's connected to a rudder. It's in the water. We got little oar locks here so you can row it. And then there's a seat. I've got my little marine radio there. We'll get to that part later. I got my backpack with my stuff in it. My Crocs. Everybody hates my Crocs, but that's okay. And in the bag is some collapsible oars. Over here is the one line. It's called a main sheet. Anytime you have a line that's connected to a sail, it's called a sheet. The sail is also called a sheet. It's kind of crazy, but that's just how we do it in the sailing world. Anyway, the reason I think that sailing small boats is so easy, number one, they're really easy to get. There's tons of small boats out there. You don't have this barrier to entry of buying a $200,000 Valiant, and it's also they're just basic. I've got the tiller in my hand. I've got the main sheet over here, and I know exactly what the conditions are doing to this vessel. You get a chance to feel everything. You know exactly what it means to claw off of a shore. You know what it means to be on a beat. You know what it means to be on a downwind run. You know the reason that you may or may not pull your dagger board up. You know what happens if you use too much rudder. A lot of people don't even know you can use too much rudder and what that means and what happens when why you're using too much rudder. All those things on a big boat, they're abstracted from you. If you're on a 40-foot Valiant, which by the way they're great. If you have one and you want to give it to me, I love it. But the problem is that there's so much sail up in the air, and they have these big full keels that you really could mess them up and have a terrible sail trim and have way over ruddered, and you're still probably going to get where you're going. But that's not really learning how to sail really well. You're not really getting the basics, and you're not getting the essentials because there's too much stuff between you and the controls. And the controls really are the rudder and your sails. That's about it. So you want to be in as much. You want to have as little as possible between you and those things when you're first learning how to sail. Because when you get on a bigger boat, there's just more stuff you have to deal with. But the essential basics, you really want to have that stuff locked in. So, that's kind of my reasons for it. It's cheaper to get into. If you decide sailing's not your thing, or you want to take the boat and put it up for a while, no big deal. You haul it out of the water, stick it in your garage, stick it in a friend's garage, put it on your lawn. You can do anything with it. You get yourself into a 30, 40-foot boat. You can't take it out and put it on your yard. You have to dive it every month and clean off, and zincs and engines. There's all this stuff you got to do. You get yourself a dinghy like this, it's a great way to start. And beyond that, it turns into a tender too. You can, if you decide to get a bigger boat later, bing, I got your tender, you're ready to go. So I'll leave it at that. Again, this is just the reasons for why I think you should get yourself a dinghy for learning how to sail. And if you're a big boat sailor and you're not really super comfortable under sail, you find yourself using the engine a lot, I think you should pick yourself up a little dinghy. Get used to it, you know, get a feeling for how to really operate a sail vessel without all the gadgets and doodads and, you know, UFOs that fly down from space and, you know, manual winch or you know, hydraulically winch yourself away, or all that jazz that's on a modern boat. It helps, but it shouldn't make up for a skill that you have, or skill you should have anyway. So that's about it. Again, this is Eric from the Rebel Heart. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day out there. I sure as heck am, and I'm going to get back to sailing. I'm coming up on some shoals over here, so I gotta have a sharp lookout. All right, see you guys. Bye-bye.